people are joining from their personal IDs, so I need to give them admit permission. Are you able to read the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's a question based on the pentagonal prism, right? So in which what is given? Before you proceed for what you need to ensure that don't do hurry. Read the question carefully. Sometimes you may confuse with the prism and the pentagon, right? So as here the question mentions that it's a prism. Okay. So what is the peculiarity of the prism? Its bottom base and the top base will be same. That you need to take care of, right? And then you decide upon its orientation. Okay. Where it is needed to be drawn, as here it is mentioned, it's a 30 mm side, 50 mm axis standing on HP on its base. So where we need to draw? On the HP, that is below the XY line. So how do we start with? So if we confirm with what we need to draw, what is the base, we will take a polygon command, right? We will enter the number of sides as 5, right? Then we press the enter. Then it is asking us for specify the center of polygon. Should we specify the center of polygon? No. Then what we should choose for? Edge, right? And while doing so, what we are ensuring? We are ensuring that we have switched on the bilayer 0.09 thickness, and we will also make sure that ortho mode is on, right? Ortho mode needs to be on. We can switch on the line weights. Okay. We will also ensure that object snap tracking is on and object snap is on, although it is not required currently, but it is mandatory to have the ortho mode on, right? Then we will keep the sufficient distance from the XY and we will keep our first edge like this, right? We will ensure the orientation, then we will type the 30 from the keyboard, enter, in this way, right? Then what we will do, as we already typed this, I will explore this and I quickly move on this annotations while keeping the ortho off, and also o snap also I can keep off. Okay, I am telling you can keep off o snap. Ortho needs to be off while you need to move this, right? So we'll quickly move this, right? Now what I need to project this pentagonal base into the front view, right? From the each edge, right? Ortho needs to be on them like this, correct? So these are the relevant edges. I will keep this. Now what we will do, we will also project the center, that is axis, right? Correct. For that we need to switch on the geometric center. We will check it whether the geometric center is switched on from the this menu, right? Correct. Then what we will check, we will just hover it around the object like this, right? And you can see that as we have the polar this mode on, what is it? Object snap tracking, because of which without even drawing the line, you can see you can draw the axis, right? What is the height of the axis we require? 50 mm, right? Correct. Then we will shift the mode bilayer 0.09 is the thickness, right? Then I will keep here height 50, right? I will draw a line by taking a reference of this, right? Correct. I need to draw one more edge corresponding to this, correct? I will slightly zoom in so that you can see only the object which is needed to be drawn like this. Okay. Now I will quickly transfer these annotations for the front view like this. You can see ortho needs to be switched off, ABs here at the both the ends. See this. If the if the O snap is on, sometimes these annotations may quickly fetch up nearer to the O snap point. That's why sometimes if you're not comfortable, you can switch off the O snap while transferring these annotations. Okay. Sorry. Now this is done. What I will do next, we will just mark what is its size, just to ensure before proceeding ahead that you have drawn it's correct as per the required dimensions, right? Now this part is done. Now the question is how much marks you will get for this much. As it is asked, we need to draw the front view and the sectional top view. Although I have written here sectional side view, it may not be in the purview of 10 marks. So I'm deleting this. Okay. For the 10 marks, 99% of the cases you will be only asked to draw front view, sectional top view. Even this is cannot be in a purview of the 10 marks question. Okay. So front view, sectional top view under development of the retained portion. This only can be asked in most of the cases, right? So now we will go for the reading the next part. So it is standing on its base whose one side is perpendicular to VP. So this is one side is perpendicular to VP, right? That's why the orientation is like this. It is curved by a section plane 45-degree inclined to HP passing through the midpoint of the axis. So what we can do, we can take the center line, right? We will ensure our O snap, this is on, ortho is on like this, right? And then what is the angle we require? Here we require the angle 45. So what we'll do, we'll select this, we'll rotate this, right? And what it is asking now for, rotate the midpoint, rotate the about the base point. So we'll select this base point which is on the axis, right? Why we need to select the axis? Because it is passing through the midpoint of the axis, right? That's why it is needed to be ensured. Now what is the angle you will type? 45-degree, right? Now just ensure that it is crossing the required portions, right? If it is not crossing, what you will do? Can anyone tell? If it is not crossing the boundaries, what you have to do?
Extend.
You need to extend, correct? How will you extend? Yes, Naman is rightly said, extend. Now while ortho is on, it is very difficult to extend, right? So how will you extend? For that you can use the polar mode on, right? Or what you can do, you can use the extend command here, right? See here, extend, select extend command, select this, you can see it is extended till the next boundaries. See, further extension will let it cross. Similarly, you can see this, okay? So you can use the extend command for extending it beyond the boundaries so that you can get the clearly defined portions which are getting retained and which are retained, which are cut. Now we will switch on the line thickness which is already there. We will change the line thickness to 0.30, right? We will switch on the ortho mode if it is off, and we will highlight the retained portion like this, okay? In this way, these are the retained portion of the prism. Also you can see this is the portion of the prism which is retained, correct? Now you may get confused that whether we should take into account this much is the portion. If I measure it clearly, let's see how much is this. See, it's only 1 mm, right? So in the top view, this 1 mm projection will be very close, right? So it's up to you whether you need to show it, right? I will show it for the reference. Now, as this cutting plane line cuts relevant edges of the prism, here we can see these are the two different surfaces of the prism getting cut. Here again two surfaces, and here it is the top surface of the prism getting cut. So we will name this, right? So we'll copy this.
If we want, can we like ignore that extra projection
No,
in
no
the
need.
exam? Like if we,
Don't delete this projections.
okay, sir.
Okay. So I will copy these names and I will rename this there. Okay. So let us call this as 1 dash comma 2 dash. Okay. Let us call this as 3 dash comma 5 dash. You may have a question why I'm calling it as 5 dash, not 4 dash. Anyone? Because here I am seeing that C
Yeah,
and
sir.
E are getting cut. So while going in sequence, I will call this as 1, 2. I will call this as 3. I will call this as 4 and 5, and this will be a 6. See here the base is cutting at the two places while taking the projection. Here will be the 4 and here will be 5. That's why I name this as 3, 6. Okay. 4 dash comma 6 dash. Oh, sorry, 4 dash comma 5 dash. Okay. And then I will take the projections. Projection should be thin. Okay. So this is the projection I'm taking. Switch on the series. How small it is. See the gap between. Now what you need to ensure that if you are taking into account hatching will be only this portion, and whenever you are hatching this portion and this portion will be so close that you will not even realize in the print. Whenever the print will be displayed, right, you will see there is very small gap, right? Correct. Now,
So if we don't draw the small portion, then like our marks will get cut. Like in that case,
sorry,
if we don't draw this like that small portion in exam, so the marks will get cut.
you need to show.
So
Mostly if
okay,
such case arise, there is a possibility of the mask cut if you don't show. But if it doesn't display, that's a different scenario in the printout. But
yeah,
at least
okay,
you
okay,
will
sir.
get the credit for the marks that you already know this, even it
Yeah,
displays
okay, sir.
differently. Correct.
Yeah.
Now, how do we draw the section top view here? You can see that this this AB is completely cut. 3 6 that is C is completely cut, and this is the portion of the retained portion. So we'll take the hatch command. Now, while taking the hatch command, you have to ensure that see you are choosing the ANSI 31, right? And here I will choose the default. What is the default here? Pick the internal portion like this and enter. Now you must have noticed that while I selected this hatch command here, right, what was the line thickness? 0.09. Correct. So this you need to ensure the line thickness should be 0.09. Otherwise, if the line thickness is 0.3, then figure may look weird, right? But now what we need to do, we select the boundaries and we change the line thickness of the boundaries to be 0.30, right? Now whether we need to take into account the thickness all times, it is always desired those who want to score 50 out of 50, right? So whenever there is a case that one student has drawn everything correct, we will check whether the line thickness is taken into account, right? For most of the students, we will just check whether he has drawn correctly. Okay. Are you getting this statement? So
Yes,
what
sir.
should be your focus? Your focus should be on getting the answer more than the line thickness. But don't take my words as it is. That line thickness is not important. Okay. Now this is the part done, which is front view and sectional top view. Now for this, just we need to show what is the angle here, and this will get complete for 5 marks. Okay. We need to show whether we are really taken the midpoint. Yes, see, it's taken from the midpoint, correct? Now we will take a development. For the development, what will be the development here? 5 rectangles we will get. So what we can take? We can take a rectangle equal to the height. What should be the height of the rectangle? 50. And what should be the width? 30. Correct? Oh, I drawn reversed. You can take a line here like this. 50, right? 30, right? And then you can copy this. 1, 3, 4, 5. In this way, you can just replicate the rectangle drawn. Correct? So this is the simplest method you can follow. Okay. Then I will just rename this. Okay. This is A dash. Correct. Then I will copy the names for here and I will rename this. If you already taken as extra word letters, you can do that. So this will be B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash. Right? Now as the we opening it from the A dash will get repeated. Right? Also, while doing the development, you need to ensure that if the base is pentagon, how many rectangles are created here? 5. And what is the question? It's a question based on the prism. That's why we get the here rectangles. If the question is based on the pyramid, what you should get? Triangles replicated. Correct? This you need to take care. Now, from the each important point where the edge getting we can say intersected by the this section plane, you need to take these projections. Ortho nodes to be on. So this is the first edge, right? And this is the last edge, right? Now look here, C and E are getting cut at 3 and 6. So this is the first edge and this is the last edge, right? Now the question is how you are going to show here development, because this is the only portion which is on the left and right of the D. If you notice, what is this distance? You can measure the distance here. How much is the distance? Only 1 mm, right? So what we can do, on the either side of the D, we can take 1 mm distance and we will draw a offset line like this. So we select this offset 1 mm on the left and 1 mm on the right in this way, right? So that whenever we will be drawing a development, it should touch on the left, that is on this edge, and on this edge we are going to start it again. Okay. So we will transfer this annotations again in the front view. sorry, for the top base, like this. Okay. Now see here, this is A is getting cut because of the intersection of this cutting plane line at the 1 for A and 2 for the B. So we'll transfer this 1 comma 2 here. This is okay. So this is, we will call it as 1 dash, correct, and this we will call it as 2 dash, right, and this we will call it as 1 dash. Now here C and E are getting cut at the two positions. For the C we will call it as 3, and for the E we will call it as 6. So let us copy this. So I wanted to delete the 6, I will use the this delete portion, right, and I wanted to retain the 6, so I wanted to delete the 3 here, right, so I will select the left portion, correct, so I did not to adjust this annotations there, right, and then this 4 and 5 here, you can see these are very close, correct, so I wanted to retain the 4 here, correct, and I wanted to retain here 5, correct. Now how we should join? See here, if we are seeing this AB getting cut, so this should be the horizontal line we should get, right, and then we can see we will move it to this point C, so point C intersection is 3 here, right, so we'll take a line thickness 0.3 and we will take a line command, right, like this, we will start, if needed between we will zoom the development drawn like this, right, and this is the bottom retain portion, correct, of the prism. These are the retained edges of the prism, correct, so this is the answer, okay, and finally if you have time then we will write it down this as front view, right, copy this, call it this as sectional top view, right, I will reduce the size here, okay, in this way this answer is completed, okay, this also you can reduce the size little bit. Any questions over this? Any part that you, oh sorry, any part that you did not understood?
सर जो नंबरिंग किया है हमने
hmm
4 और 5 का
hmm
डी पॉइंट के लिए दोनों दोनों डी पॉइंट के लिए
हाँ
वो we had to do it because top line maybe we found some intersection, right?
हाँ, here we have some intersection,
Otherwise, otherwise it is only going to be 1 point.
yes, yes, otherwise it will only have 1 point, correct.
Hmm, right. Okay,
So
okay, sir.
you can notice if here instead of 45 degree it would have been 40 degree,
Yes.
then this base wouldn't have been cut. See, I will show you. I will change this angle by reverse rotation. Okay, so now it is horizontal. I am now rotating again, but now this time I am taking 40-degree series. Correct. So if the angle is 40-degree, you can see all the prism vertical, we can say, faces getting cut, right? So in this case, whenever we will draw a development, it will be only like this. A line will pass through this. Correct. So here we will get the cut, right? And this development, instead of the 4, will be directly connected to this particular point. Correct. Okay. So as you have noticed, I am able to do the undo, but I am not able to do the redo. Huh? So remember this. You can see this redo option is disabled. Okay. And most of the times you will not be able to do the redo. Sometimes can be, right? But don't completely dependent upon this redo option. Okay. Any other question? Otherwise, we can move on to the next question. Here I'm purposely keeping this xy nearer to, so development will be requiring a larger space above, right? So now read the question. Question is based on the cone. Cone base 75 mm diameter, axis 80 mm long, is resting on its base on the HP. So what is the question? It is based on the cone. What is the diameter? 75 mm. So what will be the radius? 37.5. Otherwise, you can directly choose this center diameter command, right? If you are making a fumble here, you will, at the start you will get 0 marks because of choosing the wrong dimensions. May get a, will not get, may get 0, even if everything is correct. Okay, so checking the correct dimension is very important. Cone of base 75 diameter, right? So I am taking the here center point, right? I need to take the line thickness 0.09, right? And then I have chosen the center diameter command, that's why I'm taking the 75 directly, right? So if you choose this first center radius, I will select the center at suitable distance from the xy, and I will type 37.5. Correct. It is very essential to take calculator with you. Okay, that calculator will be helpful in orthographic also. So now I need to divide this into the how many equal parts? 8, right? Again here we will need to keep the center option on, right? So from the center I will draw a horizontal line keeping the ortho on like this. Then I need to divide this into the 8 equal parts. For that, command that will be used is a polar array. I will select this edge, right? So our selection of this object is complete, so I will press enter. Then I will select the center point, right? After the selection, this items are 6 with this want as 8, right? Correct. And then we press enter, right? Once this is done, we will transfer these annotations which are already taken. I will explore this and I will take this one, switch off the ortho. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here, it was very close, so the O snap faced it near. 6. See again here. Okay. So if you have not practiced much, I prefer you to keep the O snap off, right? Like this. keep it slightly away from the projection so that your projections will look correct, either on the left or the right of this vertical line that will be following. This is point O for the axis, right? In this way. Now we'll take the projections for this ortho on, O snap on. So this is the end projector, right? Correct. Now we will take the projections from 2, 8, right? 3, 7, then 4, 6. You must have noticed I have not taken the line command again and again. So what is the command that I used for repeating the line? Space bar or enter, you can repeat. So if I press the space bar, you can see it is asking me for the line command, because what was my previous input? Line. So if you press it again, the previous command gets repeated. Correct? Say this again. I press the space bar. It is asking me for the first point. So that will save your time. Okay. Then I will call this as 1 dash. This as 2 dash comma 8 dash. So here I might have to switch off this O snap. Then 3 7 dash 4 dash comma 6 dash. Sorry. Right. And then finally 5 dash. Right. Then what is the axis height here? 80 mm long. Right. So I will take the line here, O snap on, right? Draw a line of 80, enter. I will touch this one. I will draw this line from 1 to 5 like this. Now here it is a matter of skill whether the ortho is on or not, right? I just drawn the vertical line. I connected it to 1 dash, drawn a line of 1 dash to 5 dash and connected it here again, right? Then I will connect it from 2 dash 8 dash to apex like this, and here join this. So if you are joining this way, your at least 1 minute gets saved, right? Repeating the commands for drawing a line. And then I will transfer this O dash, right? Now we wanted to draw the sectional plane. So let us read out the next statement. It is cut by a section plane perpendicular to the VP, inclined at 45 degree to the HP, cutting the axis at a point 35 mm from the apex. So here it is mentioned that cutting plane is 45 degree inclined to HP, but where it is cutting? At distance of 35 mm from the axis. So we will show the dimensions first. So it is 80, right? And we'll take here 35 mm distance like this. Okay. We will show its dimensions. 35, correct? In this way. Okay. What I will do, I will make one center line here. I will extend the center line on the other side like this, right? And then I wanted to make this center line inclined at an angle 45. Okay. So now I will use the rotate command. Select this line, that is center line. Enter. I will select this base point and I will type the command 45. Correct? You can see this. You can reduce the length if required, or you can keep as it is, because ortho mode is on. It will be very difficult for you to reduce this length, right? Okay, you can keep as it is also, no worries. Okay, if it is too long, what you can do to reduce, just draw one line any random, trim this. Okay, now I will select the portion which is retained and portion which is removed, right? You can see the portion of the cone which is below is retained. So I will make the line thickness 0.3. So this is highlighted like this. So this is the portion which is retained, correct? Now you can see here this all the generators are getting cut. So if the all the generators are getting cut, the top view should be ellipse, right? Correct. So what we will do, we will give the names to the portion of the cone where we are getting the section plates cutting cut, right? So here two places, here two places, here also two places, and here one place, right? So we will let us call this as A. Any name you can give. I prefer to give numbers here, and here I will write down the letters so that we can differentiate while showing these numbers in the top view. This will I will call it as B dash. This I will call it as C dash. This I will call it as D dash. This I will call it as E dash. Then while coming back, as here we can see 4 dash and 6 dash is getting cut, right? So let us call this as D dash comma E dash, sorry, D dash comma F dash. Okay, let us call this as C dash comma G dash, and this will be B dash comma H dash. Now you might have noticed that these letters are crossing this line. So what we can do, we can rotate this, correct, with the base point, right? So we can do the rotation at their place, okay, like this, 45 degree in this way. Same, rotate base point 45 degree, right? So that will get aligned so that it can look proper, right? Rotate 45 degree, correct? Now we will transfer these projections in the top view. See here, from the O dash to 1 dash, only one generator is there, which is cut because of the section plate at the position A. So we'll draw one line, projectors projected from this intersection like this, correct? For this O dash to 2 dash 8 dash, this cutting plane is cut to two generators. One is for O dash to 2 dash and one is at the O dash to 8 dash. So while transferring this cutting plane line, you can see, you can show it like this. One which is for the O to 8 and another is for the O to 2. Now you might have noticed that I could able to intersect this O to 2 perfectly because you can see this. I have used the polar tracking. If I use the ortho mode here, I will show with the ortho mode also. What you can do, if I use the ortho mode, I can uh, draw this projection not at a perfect place, but I need to cross it, right? So I will show it for this intersection of O dash to 4 dash 6 dash like this. See this, okay? So just slightly go ahead and trim it the portion in this way, okay? Then I will do it for the end generator, this O dash to 5 dash, which will be till here. Now the question is, how do we transfer this BC, CG, right, which is located exactly on this O to 3. For that, what I need to do is I will show it at a different portion like this. This is the intersection of this with this, right? So this point we need to transfer. For that, we will draw one horizontal line like this, right? This horizontal line needs to be projected, right? So it comes here. Look at here. This is the horizontal line obtained from the CG, which is transferred on the end generator, that is O1, then it is transferred back to the O21. Now what we need to do, we need to take the circle, or we can take the arc command like this. We take the radius equal to this, like this, right? And then we can trim this remaining portion here, and we will delete this. Okay, otherwise what you can do, you can use the arc command like this. Center started, this is the center, this is starting point, and you can see this is the arc command, right? And then I can mirror this. I wanted to retain the source like this. So these are the 2 points I'm going to get, one here and another one will be here. Okay, so now I will name the annotations in the denominator, sorry, not denominator, in the top view. So this is the my intersection A, right? You can see here, O to 2 is getting cut at the two places B and H. So this point will be 2B. O to 2 will be here, will be B, and here intersection I'm going to get is H, right? So this is B, correct? And this is the intersection I'm going to get is H, correct? Similarly, this is the point I'm getting C, and this is the point I'm going to get is, what is the point going to get is H, right? Select this, type letter C, select letter, type this G. Okay, otherwise you can create the separate letters for this. I prefer this method. This is the point I can see getting is D, and above I'm getting is F, right? So there is double click D, there is double click F, right? And finally the here the intersection point of the O to phi is E. So I copy this, and here I'm going to get is E. Now we wanted to join A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, A. What is the command that you need to use is this spline fit, right? The line thickness should be 0.3, right? I start with the A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now, where is the point H? For H, closely look. This is a vertical line which is corresponding to the B. So this above point should be H, right? And there is the point E. Right click and enter. Now here you might get a spline like this. Is it correct? It's not correct, but what is the option you have, right? So you might need to correct it here, right? So how do you correct? You can start from the point B dash instead of the point A dash. So I will delete this. I will show the difference you will get in this spline. Okay. So if I started from this particular point, let us say C or B. See this portion, and I will trim this portion. See this. To get the exact ellipse is very difficult task whenever you are using the spline, right? So you might have to adjust this spline fit options like this. See this, I have adjusted, but while adjusting you may miss out one of the points. Okay, correct? You can see this, it is not exactly ellipse, but it's very much close to the ellipse. Now what you can do, Line thickness, we will again switch back to the 0.09. I will use the hatch command, IC31, right? I will select the object like this and enter. So at one go, you are able to select the portion which is retained because of the this cutting plane line cutting the all the generators of the cone. Now we need to draw the retained portion of the cone. So I will select this line thickness 0.09 0.30, right, and I will overlap it like this. So this is how we will take the front view and the top view. That is front view, and this will be the section top view. So this will give us 5 marks. Okay, any questions over this? Otherwise we can proceed for the development.
So for the CG projection, like can we take it on the generator O dash 5-1,
Sorry,
like
I
on the
did
right
not get.
side? Like can we take the C dash G dash ka projection on the right side generator of the
Yes, yes, yes.
triangle?
You mean to say the inclination instead of this on the right side? Yes, I will show you
No, no,
how you
no.
can do it.
Like inclination is like this only, but for the C dash D dash ka projection, like you took it on the left side wala generator, like
Huh?
so I can take it on the right side also, no?
Yes, like this.
So like not the cutting plane, but like for the semicircle part. Because C dash we are taking the projection, right?
Hmm.
But you are taking it on the
Yes, yes, yes.
generator
That
and
is
you're
absolutely
bringing
correct.
it down.
So this C dash G dash, if instead of it here,
Yeah.
we will take it on this generator. So
So
it will
that's
come
also
it.
right, no?
Yes,
Yeah. Okay, sir.
it will come here, and again we will go back to the same place, right?
Yeah.
This is correct. Yes. Now for the sector, what we need to find out? We need to find out what is the length of this slant height, right? So for that, we'll take the align command, right? We will select the apex and we will select the phi, and here we get the 88, right? So now we need to show here what we get. So theta is equals to r by l into 360, right? Star. Yes. So that is 37.5 divided by 88 into 360. Okay. So you just calculate and show. No need to find out the symbol initially. If you get the time at the end to show the symbol theta, it will be good. But because of this theta symbol not shown, you will not get reduction in the marks. Okay. So here we get the angle as 153.41. Okay. Now, can we mark the angle 153.41? We can mark the angle, but 0.41 you can neglect, right? And you can just show the 153, correct? Because it is very difficult to show the difference between the 153 and 153.41, correct? Now, what I will take, I will copy this, correct? You must have noticed what I have copied. I have selected this portion, not this, right? Because I want the slant height of the cone, which is not, we can say, retain, but complete portion of the slant height. So that's why I selected this portion. Copy this. Ortho needs to be on. You can switch off the O snap like this and say this in this way. Correct? Now you can take the center start angle, switch on the O snap again. This is our center. This is our start point, and we need to now mark the angle 153. Can you see this angle? No, because ortho is on. That's why sometimes you are not able to select this. So while doing the angle, we need to switch off this. ortho. This is the first point, this is the start point, right? I switch off the ortho, right? And then I will type 153, right? So for the moment I will move this question outside of this window like this. Okay, then I will select this. Okay, just I will ensure again whether that angle is really 153 or not. Yes, it is 153. Now I need to divide this 153 into how many parts? 8 or 9? We need to divide this into the 9 parts so that we get the separation. Total division will be 8 and we need to divide it into the 9 parts. Just look at it. So I will use the again polar array command, right? Select this, right? Then this is the center. Now what is the fail angle needs to be used here? What is the angle between here? 153, or fail angle should be 153. Fail angle should be 153, right? And then here I should choose the 9, right? Now you just count whether how much divisions we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And what was the number of we can say items I have selected? 9. What is the field angle we have chosen? 153, right? Correct. So this is how you should proceed for. Correct. Is that clear? Hello.
So, but I saw a question in which there were like 12 divisions instead of 9.
Some of the YouTube channels you may see 12, but I don't think 12 is really
Yeah,
necessary,
okay, so.
because sometimes the
So
points are
9
very
only we have to
close.
consider, right?
Sorry.
Yeah. So we have to consider 9 only, right?
Huh.
Okay.
So if you type 12, you need to type here 13, and so that you will get the division 12 parts. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. And ensure that the field angle is here. You put what is the angle of the sector that you get. Right. So here I get the 153. So I type here 153. Now what is the difference here if I get the 153.41? Very marginal difference you will see. You will not even realize it. Correct. So if I draw the 153.41 and 153.41 here, this 8 and 9 will be very close, right? Correct. So now we need to name this. So this point is O dash, right? Now sometimes you will notice that here is the O 1 2 3 4 like this, and sometimes you will notice 1 dash 2 dash. It's absolutely normal. What is the nomenclature you give? Okay. So I keep this, copy. This is O, right? And then I will copy this. I'm opening it from the point 1. So I will name this as 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and again 1 is replicated. Just double click, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? In this way we do. Now we take a line, ortho needs to be on like this. So we draw a line which is from the intersection of O dash to 1 dash at A like this, right? Now here I just slightly need to cross, correct? Then from the intersection of O dash to 2 dash 8 dash, which is here, this is I will cross, right? From the O dash to 3 dash 7 dash, this is the line I'm getting. From O dash to 4 dash 6 dash, this is the intersection, right? And from O dash to A dash, this is I'm getting the intersection, like this, right? Now I need to trim this, so I will trim all this at once. Okay, getting? Now O dash to 1 dash is getting cut at the position A dash. So where is the 1 dash? Here is, and also it here, right? So I will take the arc command, center start end. This is my center, this is my starting point, right? I will draw an arc, right? So if I switch off the ortho mode, I can take the arc which is of desired angle, like this. Okay, I take this. Okay, now again take the same command. Now here you must have noticed I'm going back here again, because this command will not get repeated even if you space bar. Okay, so this is my center point, this is my start point. Now b dash s dash is for 2 comma 8, right? So it starts from the 2, where I should end here, right? So I can use the trim immediately. I click on this and click on this, right? Correct. Oh, I'm repeating the command for the next 3 comma 7. So this is 3 and 7 here for C to G. So trimming this portion, right? Then for the 4 comma 6, D comma F is the intersection I'm going to get. So this is center start end. So this is the 4 and this is the 6, trimming the portion, right? And for the this E O comma 5 is the generator. So I will take this and oh sorry, right, till only here, and I will trim this portion, right? Now I can choose this points to be copied. So this is my A point here and here, right? You can keep the dash or you can remove the dash, right? I'm keeping the dash for a moment, right? Then B dash comma H dash is for the 2 dash comma 8 dash. So this is the point B dash, and this is the point for intersection of H dash. So I will immediately delete what is not required. So H dash is required, whereas other point is not required, right? Similarly here B dash is required, whereas H dash is not required, correct? Then C dash comma G dash for the 3 comma 7 intersection. So this is the 3 comma 7, 3 generator, and this is the intersection for it. So I'll, while copying, I will place it very close so that I do not get confused, right? And this is the point C dash. If you sometimes notice by YouTube channel, I have used the point command, right? Those who are very much comfortable with the point command, they can continue that. Otherwise this method is also suitable, right? So this is the intersection of C comma 3 comma 7 and the 0 comma 7. So this point should be G dash, right? So this is for 4 comma 6. So where is the 4? You can see this is the generator from the 4. So this point, this is the generator which is of 4. So this is the point should be D dash, right? And then for the 6, this is the point we should get. Okay, and for the E dash, this is the final point we get, which is on the O2 5. Okay, now the question is, once you are marked, how do we join it? Again here we'll switch on the line thickness and we will make the use
So
of
B dash
line
should
command.
be on like on the generator above A dash, right?
Sorry,
The B dash should be on the generator above A dash, right? Like
E
you
dash
have
or
marked
B
it on
dash.
the B dash.
And the placement of the point is not very significant. You can keep it very nearer to it or above, doesn't matter. B dash.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I
okay,
thought
correct,
you
correct.
took it on the
Yes,
A
yes, B
dash
dash should be
generator.
here. Right,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Yes.
B dash should be here. C dash is correct. Yes. Okay. Now, whether S dash is placed correctly. No, S dash is also placed here. That also needs to be here. Okay, right. So now we use the line command. This B dash, C dash, D dash, E dash, F dash, G dash, H dash, A dash. Now once you reach to the last point and click it, just right click and enter, so that your curve gets perfect. If it's slightly even override of it, you might have to trim it the portion or your curve shape may get different, right? Now what you will do for this portion, we'll show the thick lines here, right, on both the ends like this, right? And you can use the arc command, keeping this as a center point, and so that you can show this the portion of the retained cone with the thick edges like this. Okay, and then we can copy this here. This is a front view, this is a sectional top view, right? And this is the development of the cone we will write down here instead, right? Development of the retained cone. Okay, any questions?
So can you show how the development those triangles were drawn again?
Development of the cone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anyway this is recorded. I will show still how it is
Achha.
taken.
Only
uh,
the triangle part, the first one.
Sorry,
The polar, I think polar
polar
command
part.
is
Okay,
used,
okay.
right?
So for the polar part, first I will copy this line, right, which is equal to the slant height like this, right? Then
Yes, sir.
I will move this for a then what is the angle I have taken? 153, right? So this is the center point I have taken, this is a starting point. And then what is the angle we require? 153,
153.
right? So I will type here 153, correct? I will select
Yes, sir.
this, match properties, and see this, right? Then I will collect this end, right? Okay, I will switch on the line thickness to 0.09. Now I have selected the polar array, right? I have selected this edge, enter. Then it is asking us to select the center point like this. Now here we should look for fill. What is the fill? It is nothing but the angle. What is the angle? 153.
153.
Yes. Now Is it the required number of divisions? No. Then in the items, we will select here as how many?
9.
9. Why 9? Because we
We
want the
want 8
difference
part.
between the each sector as 8. So you can see, count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's why here a number of items needed to be 9. If you keep it as 8, you can see it is divided into the 7 parts, not 8 parts, right? So that's why you keep it as 9. Why 9?
Yes.
Because first line needs to be repeated at the end. That's why it is the number of items needs to be 9. Okay,
Yes, sir. Understood.
and then you will
Okay,
just
sir.
project this and then you mark the angles, correct?
Yes, sir.
As this development, I'm opening it from the O2 one, the shape will be like this. If you open it from any other end, shape will be different, right? But I always suggest you to open it from the left end. It is always easy and imagine the surface easier to, if you open it from the left end. Okay, even though you can open it from the any different point, you can start to open it from the O to 5. So this will be O to 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Your shape will be different, answer will be correct, but difficult to interpret. Okay, for your, okay, can we move on to the cylinder?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so cylinder has a diameter of 45, 70 long, is resting on one of its base on the HP, and it is cut by section plane inclined at 60° with HP passing through the point of the axis from 15 from the one end. Okay, here it is mentioned, draw the three views of the solid and obtain the development of the retained portion. Okay, so I'm showing you three views only for a reference. In the question paper may or may not be asked the three views. Okay, remember this, they may only ask the front view and top view and the development. So first we will select the bilayer 0.09, select the circle. Is the radius will be 22.5. Okay, correct. One thing I mentioned, forgot to mention, we also need to mention what is the dimension of the this cone at the end. We need to show this, right? Correct. And also we need to show here the angle what you get. Okay, without overlapping, you need to show this that you really mark the 153 or not. Okay, yes, it's a 145 45 mm. Now we divide this into the 8 parts by taking a line command. For we will take one line like this, ortho mode on, right? This is the polar array, correct? Number of items as 8, right? Then I will transfer this. Okay, I need to this explode. Then I will move on this ortho off while moving. Say this zero point 0.6 is phase near because of the O snap. So you can keep slightly away while moving. Okay, and now I will take the projections ortho on. I'm repeating the line command with the space bar. Okay, I will quickly transfer this annotations for the base of the cylinder. Okay, so this is 1 dash and the last endpoint will be 5 dash like this. Okay, then 2 dash here. Okay, then 3 dash comma 7 dash, then 4 dash comma 6 dash for this. Now what is the height or axis length? 70 mm long, right? So here we take the length 70, then we type here 45, right? Ortho on, connect here and show it like this. Okay, just to draw the lines in between like this. Correct. I will quickly show the dimensions. Okay, okay. Now you must have noticed this leader line manager, dimension style manager, the modify, the text. You can see I have used the ISO standard. If you are not using the ISO standard, the leader line will not come. See this. By default, it will be like this. So because of this, I will be able to see this. Correct? And I by default chosen the text height as 5. That's why I need not to adjust the annotations. Correct? Again here, you can see I have adjusted the arrow sizes to 4. That's why you can see my arrowheads visible. These are the some of the tweaks you can do it at the start before even the question paper comes to you. Okay, because they will ask you to modify the sheet name and name, height, role, sorry, uh, name of the student, roll number, division, department, date, right? When you modify this and create a copies of the text box after you complete this, you do this. Okay, that is ISO standard, then arrow size 4, right? Text size, if you choose to be 5, just type on the text whether it is suitable, and in the primary you can keep the precision to 0 or at least 0.0. Sometimes default will be 0.0000, right? 4 decimals, so we do not need that, right? And most of the times we need the precision at 0 and keep on the OK. Okay, and don't forget to make it at set current and close, right? Now it is cut by a section plane inclined at 60° with HP and passing through a point on the axis at 15 mm from the one end. Or is it from the bottom, or it is not mentioned? Can anyone tell what is the meaning of this? It is clearly understood that it is cut at an angle 60° with HP. But what is the meaning of passing through the point on the axis at 15 mm from the one end? Is it top or bottom?
Both should be right now if it's not
Yes,
mentioned.
you can took any one of the point because it is not clearly mentioned whether it should be top or bottom, right? So you can have the two possible answer for the same. And again, how do you take the 60° angle? 60°, if you take it like this, then again you will have the variation in the answer, right? First we will mark the 15 mm like this. Okay, I will make this line as center line like this. we'll stretch it in this way, correct? So this is the one possibility you can take. Other thing you can take it as 15 mm in this way, and then this is the center line I will make. Okay, prefer to make this maximum portion of the solid retain like this. So this is, we can choose, although it is not explicitly mentioned, right? I will show this dimension as 15. Okay, then we'll rotate the point. Rotate command is used. This is the center point, and then 60° we will mark. Okay, you can see this. Okay, if you choose previous one, then what you will get? Rotate this point 60°. This you will get. Okay, both the answers will be correct. Okay, let us choose this one. Okay, then you can see what is the portion of the retain part of the this cylinder. I will switch on the line thickness. Line command is used. See this. This is the portion of the cylinder which is retained, and this much is the portion which is get removed, right? So what we will do, we will name the portions, we will transfer the projections. First we will transfer the projections so that you can quickly rename it. Say this. Okay, you can see that this cutting plane line is cutting the base of the cylinder, right? So we need to show the base of the cylinder which is cutting the complete base of the cylinder. So here I will trim this portion like this. Now see this. To show this intersection, we need to transfer this intersection points. How we can transfer this? Where is the intersection point here? We cannot show, right? Correct? Similarly, this is the intersection point. So in this portion, how we can show the top view? See this. We will darken this like this, right? We'll use the arc command. This is our starting point, and this is our ending point. This is the portion of the cylinder which is retained, and this is the portion of the cylinder which is removed. Okay, getting this? If you get the cylinder, no need to show the projections here. Okay, because all the top and bottom bases are same, correct? So you do not need any separation of the intersection points, at least for showing the sectional top view, right? Then you show answer 31. Select the object in this one, correct? So this is very easy compared with the cone and the prism. So just to show it the different names here, we'll give the names here. One, this is the 2 points getting cut. This is the, again, 2 generators are getting cut, and here is 1 generator getting cut, right? So let us call this as a comma b dash, a dash comma b dash, right? As d dash comma, right? Let us call this as a dash comma, right? Then Let us call this as f dash. Then we will name this as g dash.
Sir, are you speaking? You have muted yourself. Sir, you have muted yourself. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Sir, could you please repeat the part where we drew circles for base of the development? Sir, could you please repeat the part where we drew circles for development of the base in the development part? Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sir, have you recorded this lecture by any chance? So, like, are you going to post this on your YouTube channel? Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you.